and welcome to my channel Wroclaw with Monica. I talk here about Wrocław. Obviously, this is a great city to live in and to visit, and I want to prove it to you. Please subscribe to the channel and like the videos, it will help me a lot. You can also support me by buying coffee using the link in the description box below. Okay, so let's start today's video. Today I will tell you about 8 things you didn't know about Market Square in Wrocław.
Number 1. Polonaise for Fredro.
It's an annual tradition in Wrocław during which high school graduates from Wrocław high schools meet at the Market Square to dance the
Polonaise
together.
Polonaise
is one of the oldest Polish dances. It originated as a form of dance during wedding ceremonies.
We were dancing Polonaise at my wedding
some time ago. Anyway, it is a dignified circle dance with easy steps. Nowadays, it is the opening dance for different kinds of balls, especially school balls like prom. And since 2001, we have
Polonaise for Fredro on Wrocław Market Square.
It is a tradition for high school graduates to dance the
Polonaise
about 100 days before the exams, typically in January. Wrocław president is dancing too. The event begins at the monument of Count Alexander Fredro, hence the name. Dancing is supposed to bring good luck in passing the exams that are planned for May. Number 2. Madhouse on the Market Square. The madhouse, or rather a cage, built in 1575, was located next to the gallows near today's Alexander Fredro monument. The madhouse was also known as the Juster's cage. People who were locked there were exposed to public ridicule. To deserve this type of punishment, you would need to drink in a public place, disturb public order, or silence at night. Well, I bet the cage would be quite full these days, but it was removed in 1745.
In the past, cars, buses and trams used to pass by the Market Square, and some part of the Rynek was converted into a parking lot.
A significant part of the Rynek was closed to the street traffic in 1990, and a complete ban took place 5 years later. Now it is pedestrian traffic only, except for suppliers. Even though there were cars and trams, we had a nice tree on the Market Square near Fredro. Number 4. High Heels Highway. Speaking of pedestrian traffic, the surface of Market Square is mostly paved with old stone, which means it's uneven. So since 2016, we have had a 6-meter wide strip with an even surface for people with disabilities, strollers and high heels, commonly called Szpilkostrada, which translates as a high heels highway.
It runs along the frontage of the Market Square, which is the red line here.
So next time when you walk on the Market Square, check it out. Number 5. Petrol station. We used to have a petrol station on the Market Square. It was opened in 1930 on today's Pigeon Square and had 2 refueling stations. It was demolished in 1974, but because removing the underground fuel tanks would be very expensive, the decision was to leave them. So in this place underground we have 2 former fuel tanks filled with sand. Number 6. Great scales on the Market Square. Since medieval times, public scales have played an important role in controlling trade.
The great scales were located here in today's Pigeon Square and were intended to weigh large goods.
In cities founded under Magdeburg law, the weight and value of the goods were determined by local authorities, and each city has its own measurement system. For example, the Gdańsk pound was 434 grams, the Dutch pound 492 and the Wrocław pound 405. So traveling trades had to reweigh and measure their goods every time after arriving in a city. It was very important because anyone who cheated on the scale risked the death penalty. Today nothing remains on the scales except traces of the building's outline built into the pavement during the renovation on the square. Number 7. Real figures on the wall of the Old Town Hall. Today on the southern facade of the Old Town Hall, above the entrance to Świnicka Cellar, we can admire 12 figures. They are from 1890 and 1891 and present people who used to live in Wrocław, who has the honor of being remembered forever, distinguished inhabitants of Wrocław, but they show themselves as different personalities, starting from the left as Tausman, Heinrich von Korn, publisher and printer, elder of the city council and former owner of the beautiful palace in Pawłowice.
As Taus woman, apparently Korn's wife.
Helena von Eichborn. As monk, Richard Pludemann, city construction councillor, architect, naturally a monk. As merchant, Philip Wolfgang Eras, trustee of the Chamber of Commerce. The builder, Karl Ludke, architect and the originator of those figures. Gustav Binghaf played the role of city writer, but he was a mayor and an honorary citizen of Wrocław. As soldier, we don't know who he was. Number 8. Painted window. The window of tenement house number 5 with Dwór Polski restaurant is painted. Can you see which one? This is a deliberate procedure known since the time of Baroque, when it was popular to combine images with architecture. Today, this procedure is used mainly for technical reasons, such as when a real window has to be removed, for example, because the layout of the rooms has changed and the window is no longer needed, or even interferes. Because of that, we can still have preserved symmetry. This window is very popular, but not many people know about other painted windows we have in Wrocław. This one on the Institute of Romance Philology at Nankiera Square 4, this one of the side wall of the Royal Palace on Kazimierza Wielkiego 35th Street, or this one of the main building of the University of Wrocław. In the tenement house opposite of the Church of St. Mary Magdalene at Szewska Street, artificial windows even have bars painted on them. Try other episodes about Wrocław, for example this one or this one, and see you in the next video!